Hello, everybody. I am here with Alex, who is one of my current clients in my life coaching program. And I have invited her here, and she has graciously accepted to really just have a conversation and talk about her experience in the program, her experience as a Black woman with life coaching. And also just to let us be able to be in her space, in her light, and her beautifulness. So anyway, let's get in. Alex, please introduce yourself to the listeners and the viewers out there.
Hello, thank you for having me. First of all, I really appreciate it. My name is Alex, and I'm a graphic designer. And yeah, I'm very excited to be here.
I love that. Okay, great. So let's just get into our very first question, which is, where were you at at the point in your life where you were like, I want to find a life coach? Or was it rather you found a life coach, me, and then you're like, maybe I do need this? So what was that process or that journey like for you to life coaching?
Oh, okay. I think the funny part, it wasn't that long ago, but it feels like it, but it wasn't. I actually wasn't looking for a life coach. I was going through, getting ready to I was ending a situationship, and it was painful. It was so painful because I knew I was ending it because I had all this inner turmoil. I knew that I didn't want to bring a loving, wonderful person into that with me when I knew I needed to do some work on my own. So I remember just feeling so beside myself, feeling so lost. And I don't know when I had wandered from my path, but I got on Instagram and was scrolling and just asking the universe for a sign. And I found an ad. I saw an ad for you. And I was like, oh, this person looks really familiar. Why do I know her name? And it's actually because I saw you through your financial advice realm. Yes. I was like, wow, okay, this is serendipitous. I had just asked the universe for a sign, and I'm already very familiar with this space. Yeah. So I jumped right into your breakthrough quiz and just let myself trust you because I needed someone else on my team. I was so lost and so hurt. I needed I needed to trust someone.
That's beautiful. I think when we ask the universe for a sign, it comes so quick. Like I that just happened to me too. I was like, I need to find my people, someone to help me. And then my friend was like, just say a little prayer. And I was like, okay. And it literally happened. The same thing. I saw a familiar face, all those things. So remember that, everybody listening or watching, like if you need something, if you want something, even if you don't really know what it is, just like ask, like, I'm going through this, I need something. So I love that you had already seen my familiar face. It was funny that you said you saw me through an ad because I've only ever made like one ad before, so I was like, I guess it was successful enough. Maybe I should try that a little bit more, who knows. Okay, so we found each other, and I remember our consultation call. It was the first time I've ever done a full call without seeing someone's face, because I think you might have been driving or something, but you didn't have your camera on. I was like, man, she's not gonna trust me. Like, we're not gonna have that connection. But how was that experience for you? Just like meeting me and knowing more about the program, and how did you finally, especially around the price too? So how did you finally make decision like, okay, I'm gonna do this?
I loved our phone call conversation. I can't quite remember why we weren't meeting face to face, but I definitely remember hearing you talk to me about my responses to the questionnaire, and I was like, oh, okay, like she read this, like she really sees me, she really understands and hears me. And that's something that I was struggling with, is feeling seen and heard. And when you could, off the bat, within the first 5 minutes of talking to me, remind me that I am. Oh.
He was meowing really loudly, so I'm just gonna let him sit here and be calm. But go ahead. Sorry.
That's fine. That's fine. We all need a hug. Yeah, I felt immediately that I could trust you. I loved the way that you spoke. It wasn't in these incredibly flowery tones. It was real, down to earth, like, girl, I see you. I know what you're going through, and I can help you with that. And then we started talking about the price, and I was like, oh, okay, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I remember saying to you, like, I'm gonna check the budget and call you back. And as soon as I hung up, I was like, girl, stop playing. You know you're about to do this. And I love that you describe it as an investment, because it really, truly is. There was a moment where I sat and said, what do you want to, like, do you want to continue to be stuck? Who do you get to be at the end of this process? I had no idea what it was going to look like, but I knew that everything that I wanted was on the other side of that fear of a number, of money, right? Everything that I know that I can do, my potential is on the other side of that. And in 6 months, I could be in a completely different space, which I am. And I'm so glad. It really is admitting to yourself that you are worth the healing journey. And to be even looking for a life coach in the beginning means somewhere in your subconscious, you already believe that you're worthy of that healing. Somewhere in there already believes that. You're already doing the work. And I had to let that ride. I had to accept that I had to get out of my victimness and say, all right, fine.
Wow, I just had like this light bulb moment of like, you're right. If you're sitting here even subconsciously scrolling looking for a life coach, or you're stopping at someone's post that is a life coach, there's a part of you that's stronger than we know that is like, you need this, you need the help, you need someone on your side, you don't want to continue the way that you've been doing, you want to change. And so yeah, that fear can come up of the price and money. It always comes up, which is always why I'm like, let's not talk about it yet, let's talk about it together, let's get on the phone together, let's look at the payment plans, all of those things. And so yeah, I think I love that you had to sit down with yourself and be like, where do you want to be after this? Because I can ask that same question, which I do in my intake forms and all of that, but it's like you have to be able to have that conversation with yourself. And you know, Miss Big Ballin over here paid in full, so I guess that conversation was really successful.
It was. I think the option to pay in full was really helpful. I love the payment plans that you have, but the option to pay in full is like it's like when someone pushes you in the pool. It's like, well, now you're in, now you're wet.
True. And
Gone.
you know, that same energy of like paying in full, yes, very abundant energy, but that same energy that you bring in, it's like, I'm ready to dive in, I'm ready to do the work. And girl, you came through. You know, I always tell people, I'm like, well, especially when, you know, they sign their contract, they're ready to go, I'm like, use me, get on the app, let's talk about it, and I feel like that very next day, or maybe that same day when we had started, you're like, okay, do you have any journal prompts for me? Like, what do you, and I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, I'm ready to give it your all. So throughout this whole process, it hasn't even been 6 months. And you've put in the work. You've put in the work, girl. And it has been beautiful. So, okay, we're in the coaching program now. How would you describe what coaching is? Because a lot of people don't know what it is. And especially Black women have never had the opportunity before to have a coach. So what have we been doing for these past 3 months?
Ooh, coaching is different than anything I've experienced. I've had a therapist before. Coaching is not like therapy. So first and foremost, coaching is not therapy. Therapy is, you know, someone who is carving out these pieces of your psyche with you, and you have all these separate puzzle pieces. Coaching is sitting down with someone and putting that together with you. I feel like when we do a lot of healing work, we unravel so much of ourselves and we don't really know how to process it and pull that together. Coaching is someone who's going to sit in that with you. So the past 3 months, you've been calling me on my bullshit the past 3 months. That's what we've been doing, and really working through things. I was trying to just explain this to my sister the other day. So I have a terrible analogy for you, awful, but I'm going to go for it. Okay. Coaching is like packing to go on a trip with someone who's already been to the destination. So if I'm packing and my suitcase is me, Alex, and the destination is, I don't know, more fulfilled relationships, or starting your own business, or confidence, and I'm trying to put my crippling self-doubt in my bag, and you're like, why are you bringing that with you? Why do you think you'll need that? Why are you bringing a winter coat to the Bahamas?
Yeah.
And I'm like, but I always bring my anxiety with me. Why would I leave it at home? Why would I not take it with me to this destination of fulfilled relationships? Why would I not? And you're looking at me like, how does that serve you though? Right.
Like that crippling self-doubt and anxiety is not TSA approved. So I don't know why you're putting that in your bag.
But really. And life coaching is more than like you tell me who I am or what I need to be doing. You're really walking me through the process of, hey Alex, why do you continue to carry around these beliefs, these things with you through every stage of your life, regardless of what you want to experience? Why are you taking that with you? If I'm going to the Bahamas to relax and I'm wearing a winter coat, I'm probably going to be uncomfortable. And you're like, no, take these other things. How about these values that we've been carving out, or this confidence that we've been able to develop? Why don't you put that in your bag to go to the Bahamas?
Yeah, you'd enjoy the Bahamas a little bit more too. And you might not want to leave. And so a lot of times, actually, that was an amazing analogy. That was so clear, at least for me, but it was a beautiful analogy. But a lot of times, using the analogy, but using real life terms, when we have this suitcase that of stuff that we don't need, but we still book the ticket anyway. We still say, oh no, I'm going to have fulfilling relationships, I'm going to create boundaries, I'm going to realize my dreams and conquer my goals. And then on the way there, because you got all this stuff you don't need in your bag, your wheel breaks, you lose your luggage, somebody steals your stuff, you lose your all this stuff starts happening because you didn't have the right tools. And then even if you do make it to the destination, okay, well, I've met my goals, I've started my business, I've made money, I've in a stable relationship. Okay, well, but it's crap. I still have the anxiety, I still have the self-confidence, I still have the lack of worthiness and deservingness that I should even be here. And it's like, because you packed it in the suitcase. Like, did you think that that was just going to go away randomly? No. So it's like, I want people to not only have the tools they need to get where they want to go, but I also want them to be able to stay in that place. Like, I think I say this all the time. When we're done coaching together, I want your life to be changed, meaning you don't need me to sustain this good feeling, to sustain this confidence. You already have it within you, and you know how to tap into it when the time comes or when you need to, when we're not together anymore. Okay, so beautiful analogy. I will use that for the rest of my life. So what are some of the things, and you kind of talked about this a little bit, what are some of the things that you yourself have overcome in your life coaching journey so far?
Ooh, so right, I entered life coaching because I was going through a breakup that was ripping me apart inside. But I was going through the breakup because I had no clear sense of self. I was going through the breakup because I couldn't be vulnerable. I was going through the breakup because I didn't I didn't know who my authentic self was. I didn't trust my intuition. I didn't know who my people were. I couldn't trust anyone. And I couldn't trust anyone with, I thought I couldn't trust anyone with those flaws of me. So I'm sitting here holding myself, trying to hold myself together in that. Together, what you and I have done has been so freeing. We have talked about this a little bit before, but the power of naming, and even when you talk to me, you always use my name. Yes, I know that's my name and I should be referred to as my name, but I've really been able to create an identity for myself that I feel solid in, an identity of what goals I want out of life, what kind of person I want to be, what kind of person I want to be all the time, regardless of who I'm around and what I'm doing. Like you said, whether, I've got my life coach to text or not. So who does that look like? And a lot of the work that we've been doing has been aligning all of these ideas I have for myself and letting go of the judgment I have regarding them. And I've been so appreciative to be able to move into a space to say, to trust people, to say, hey, this is who I am, and I'm going to show up as this person, and that is okay. That is okay. Kenya, I'm just so thankful.
I am also so very thankful. I always say, like, you gas me up because sometimes I say stuff to help you, of course, and you're like, oh, mind blown. I'm like, dang, am I that good? Okay, I'll take it. I'm not gonna question it. But no, I'm also very, very thankful because, you're talking about being your authentic self. I get to be my authentic self. I get to use my authentic powers and gifts or whatever to help you bring out your authentic self. And you spoke around, I love that you're very clear saying like, well, I came to this situation because I was trying to get out of a situationship. But why was I even in that situation and situationship to begin with? And so I say all that to say that I don't think any of my clients really come to me and they're like, well, I need a life coach because I need to get my life together. Rather, it's, I want to do this thing. I need help doing this thing. I want to uncover all the crap that was in my suitcase or whatever. And it's like everyone's story is very different that comes to me. So with that being said, life coaching can help so many different things. And of course, I have a curriculum, I have a plan that I'm using, but like it applies so differently to everyone. Like you're my fourth client that I'm interviewing, and same outcomes, very different situations for everybody, which I guess that's a testament to myself. Thank God. um, you know, um, but yeah, it's just been so beautiful to see you blossom. And I record all of my consultation calls and with people who decide to do the program. And in our session 7, your homework is to look over your consultation call, because I want to see people see who they used to be and then see who they are now. And I don't know, it's like you glow sometimes very differently. You're very different than when I met you 3 months ago. And it's all because I only did 20%, you did the 80%, which is the work. And you wanted it. You wanted this life. I cannot, what they say, you can't walk a horse to water. I cannot feed you the dream. You have to create it and you have to want it enough to do the work to get there.
Absolutely. I was talking to a friend the other day, a new friend, so they don't even know me before we started coaching. Right? I saw that face, a new friend, right? I have a friend. But we were talking about different styles of dress, and she was like, yeah, I feel like your style is comfort, but you're always in like a skirt or something. I'm like, I don't know why that comment took me back so much, but it's because I realized prior to our work together, like you and our deep work together, I wasn't getting dressed. I physically was not, I couldn't even find it in myself to put on clothes. I was feeling so unworthy of even my closet. And that is weird. That's a weird feeling. I was like, oh, you are damn right. I have on earrings today. She has no idea who that person was. Not that that is anything to be ashamed of. I do love my sweatpants still, but there's definitely been a shift in every area of my life the more that I let my authentic self in, and the more work that I continue to let myself do.
Yeah, when you're saying like I didn't feel even worthy enough for my own closet, it's because internally you knew you were not showing up as the woman that would wear those clothes. And when you probably bought them, you probably felt like your authentic self. Like you probably were able to envision yourself like, oh yeah, Alex will look good in this. The Alex that I want to be would look amazing in this, would rock this. But the Alex that I am right now, she can't even think of herself in that way right now. She can't even see herself in that way right now. Wow, that's a beautiful testament. I think a lot of people, if you're in life coaching, if you're considering life coaching, friends have been really beneficial in kind of holding the mirror up to say, hey, see, look how much you've changed. Like a lot of my clients tell me like, yeah, my friends say I'm so powerful. My friends say I'm glowing. My friends say I look good. I'm like, oh, that's great. So that's going to be like my meter of like, is the life coaching working? What do your friends think? Okay. So a lot of my clientele, like 99% of my clientele, have never had a life coach before when they come to work with me. I think maybe you have had, if I remember. No, you haven't. Okay. So for the Black women out there who've never had a life coach, but they're watching this video, they're listening to this podcast, would you recommend that they get one, and why?
Absolutely. 100%. If you have skin and a beating heart, you should get a life coach. But for truly, 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 you need a life coach who looks like you, another Black woman for sure, because we often think that we go through things or have flaws that are so unacceptable, that are so deeply profound and personal and unique to us, which they which they are, right? No one else has your story but you. But there's something really powerful in finding community and safety in knowing that your experience is universal to an extent, and that someone else can have your back through that, can show you support through that, can show you love through that. Everywhere that you originally thought that you couldn't succeed, to see another Black woman looking you in the face and saying, of course you can, is powerful, so powerful. It's honestly, it's different. It's very different because I feel like also a lot of times Black women in roles of healing, while we are nurturing, we throw a lens on it, like the people who are healing us are mothering us. It is different to have a life coach who is not your mother. She's not your mother. And you're able to see a fuller version of ourselves. You care for us, obviously, definitely, your clients, but you're not babying us. You aren't, no.
I don't have time to baby
No.
anybody but my cat, and he don't even want me to baby him. So
I saw he helped out your lap. Yeah. And you're not, it's not like a blind love. It's still unconditional, but it's from a place of, I see you as a whole person, not that you're my child or my kin. I see you as just another human being on this planet. Not that mothers don't love you like that, but it is truly different, truly different.
I think the other thing is, as a life coach, you get to come to me how you want to. And so who you may be appearing as someone or acting like someone, or parts of yourself, not your full self, with your parents, with your friends, with your partner, with your bosses, your colleagues. And so I think, or at least I like to say, or hope people know, that with coaching, this is a space in which you can come as your worst self, your best self, your highest self, your lowest self, whatever, in the middle of the road self. And so I get to see you in a way that I feel like only sometimes only you see of yourself. And when you mentioned the unconditional love, it's I love you in that way because I see your potential, because I already see the things that are capable that you just can't see right now. And that's okay, because like an optometrist, I'm gonna give you some glasses, I'm gonna give you some contact lenses, some drops, whatever you need to start to finally see the things that I am seeing. And the funny thing is, so as a Capricorn, and I've seen this more in like romantic relationships, I always look at the potential of people. And us millennials are like, you can't look at people's potential, you have to look at who they are. Fair to a certain extent. They right. You like, okay, I can't just make up stories in my head about people. However, as a life coach, that has been one of my biggest strengths, because I look at your potential and I can see, oh, I can make us get to that point. I can show her what she is made of, or I can help her see what she is made of, rather. And so I think that is why it's this unconditional. It's a very different love, because I'm loving the part of you that you can't even see just yet. I see that. I see you. I see you.
I really resonate. I think that has definitely been my experience with you. I also think that because we're able to show up as ourselves, you love us in ways that like our people can't, because they've seen us as the people that we've been in the past. They know all of our shit. They know, or they think they know us in specific ways. And you're like, you are someone I'm just meeting, and you can see our potential already. And it's first of all, it's astounding that you're able to do that. So thank you. But we are able to be ourselves around you in a way that we may not be with certain people in our lives. You are 100% correct about that. Yeah. And you're able to push us into different spaces that we may not let other people push us into.
That is true, and it's only because you're inviting me to push you. Like, I can't do any of this work without you inviting me in, and me offering you a space in which you feel safe enough to be pushed, to be challenged. And the thing about, like, how you said our people kind of see our past selves, I don't care about who you were, because that's not what my work is. My work is, well, hold on, let me be clear. Those things, what you did in the past and the things that you encountered in the past inform our present and can inform the challenges that keep you from realizing the vision that you have for yourselves. However, I'm not holding you to that past self. A lot of times, if anything, I'm helping you see how that past self, how you need to forgive that past self, or you need to honor that past self and give them more grace and compassion because they got you this far. So why are we beating that person up? Let's move on from that and let's focus on who do you really want to be? That's my job. Is who do you want to be and how can I get you there? So yeah. I also really need to say this, that Alex created the podcast logo. She also created my YouTube banner as well. So whichever platform you are watching on, this girl is the creative genius behind it all. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So far, this podcast has been produced and created all by Black women. So my editor is a Black woman, Sydney, that one of the episodes I've done, and then my graphic designer is Alex. And I kind of want to talk about this a little bit if you feel welcome to it. So I realized you were very specific in your introduction that you are a graphic designer, period. Talk about that journey to getting to that, period, and just really standing in that confidence, like, I'm a graphic designer.
Oh, I think I knew you'd catch that. I think it's so important and so funny because maybe in like our second session, we were talking about how I wanted to move out of the career that I was in into this more artistic role that felt way more aligned with myself. And I'm trying to describe to you what a graphic designer is without saying graphic designer. That was the session, is me not being able to call myself an artist, call myself a graphic designer, to even put myself in the same sentence as that. So yes, another testament to how much work we have done. It's been so challenging and so beautiful. It really took a lot of the work we did around value systems and naming again that allowed me to be able to do that. I could not continue to move forward with the goals that I had in mind with the way that I was prioritizing my fear. Couldn't do it. Can't move. You can't move. Can't go anywhere. I couldn't tell myself I value creativity if I'm about to put my insecurities first. I couldn't. So that's where that came from. Thank you so much for the plug. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. And thank you for kind of that full circle moment around the values. And you're able to you're very well particular or articulate the fact that what happens with people, which is we make these goals, but they're not in alignment with our values, or we're not living in our values in order to accomplish those goals. So of course you have the goals where I want to be more creative, I want to be more artistic, I want to be more in my craft. But let's look at what you were doing before then. And I love that you use the term, I was prioritizing fear. Oh my gosh, I've never heard that before, but it makes so much sense. That's a lot of people. That's what we do. We give our power to fear. We prioritize fear. We prioritize our insecurities and our doubts. And it's like, let's literally just shuffle up those priorities a little bit more. And I love to say this when I talk about being fear indifferent, meaning the fear is still there. It's just not a part of your strategy. So it's like fear may still be a priority, but it's not as high on the list. And as you continue to live within your values and in alignment with your authentic self, that fear drops away more and more and more. And what replaces it is trust and intuition. And I think you definitely, I think that's what I've been seeing. You're growing more into yourself. It felt like I saw the shell of Alex and what Alex could be, but I also saw a little Alex, like, Russian dolls, the little thing. I saw little Alex, and she's grown and grown and grown. She's grown into herself, essentially. So beautiful. Okay. So as we close this up, I do want to give you the opportunity to plug even further your services, who you are as a graphic designer, what you have to offer to the world.
Okay. Wow. So this is also pretty healing in that specific way. But yes, I'm a graphic designer primarily for entrepreneurs of color. My graphic design studio is called Apricus, which means warmth of the sun, and that fully embodies the way that I want us to work together. The process should feel natural, light, energetic. I know the work that we can do. I know it can be in fact impactful. You know the work that you can do and how impactful it will be. I just want to help illuminate that vision. I'm going to have a website up probably by the end of the summer. And I know Kenny's going to hold me to it because I said it out loud. So yes, I am very excited to walk in that path with my shoulders back.
Shoulders back, wind in your hair, sun on your face.
Yeah.
Wind in your hair, on your scalp.
On my scalp, wind on my scalp, on my eyebrows.
Eyebrows, I love that. Yes, I will hold you to that website. And once it is up, I will update the episode description so that it is there. But in the meantime, in between time, where can we find you? Where can we follow more of your story?
Yes, you can follow my art Instagram at Lex Loves Colors, LEXLUVSCOLORS. Yeah, thank you.
You're so welcome. I love how you were like, essentially exactly what I said is like, I can see the potential in people as a life coach. You essentially said, I can see your vision and make it come to life. And that is so the truth, because sometimes I feel like I'm not giving you really good direction with graphic design, but I don't know, you bring it together. That's your gift. That is your gift to this world. And I'm so glad that you're using it and you feel confident and safe in using it. And I really love my logo and I have more work for you to do. So yay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Alex, for being here. I really, really enjoyed this conversation. And I hope that those who are listening and or watching also enjoyed it. I will be putting the link to your Instagram in the description box, as well as, again, when your website becomes published, I'll put that in there too.
Thank you so much, Kenny, for having me. You were wonderful. So wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, Alex.
Bye.